believe it or not, when I first came up with this combination, I thought, I feel like this is really original. So I Googled it, I couldn't even find it on there. So the white chocolate cheesecake is going to be set around a biscuit base of Dukkah. Okay, so Dukkah is a Middle Eastern spice and nut mix. And today I'm going to be working with quite a classic combination. It's hazelnuts, almonds, pistachios. We've got some cumin, coriander seeds, and sesame. It's just got the most incredible complementary savory note to balance out the sweetness of the white chocolate. So the first thing I need to do, I've got a little saucepan on over here, about an inch of water in the base, and I'm gonna start to melt the white chocolate. The reason why I've put that on first is I wanna melt that and cool it down slightly before I introduce it to the cream cheese. So while that's ticking away, I'm gonna get started on this base. And believe it or not, the first time I actually played with this combination, it was in the MasterChef competition. It was Nigella week, and I made a white chocolate ice cream and paired it with Dukkah. And it was just a winning combination. And I've been looking for a way to reintroduce that ever since. And I feel like this is the absolute winner. So, got to kick off with the classic digestives. We've got about 250 grams in there. And then we've got a couple of tablespoons of the cumin, the coriander seed, and the sesame. So that's a classic Dukkah spice mix. Fennel seeds would be absolutely lovely as well. They pair really well with the white chocolate. Now, our nuts, these have just been roasted off. Like I said, almonds, hazelnuts, and pistachios. So again, it's entirely up to you, but this is quite a classic Dukkah combination, and it just works so well. Of course, a little bit of salt. So salt goes into the biscuit base, and a little bit of brown sugar. Just a couple of teaspoons. To finish that off, 120 grams of melted butter. Right, done. So I'll lock this away, blitz it into a nice fine crumb, and then we'll press it into our pre-prepared tin. That's looking beautiful and fine. We've got a nice consistency in there. And it's the perfect amount of the melted butter because you don't want it to be too greasy. That's looking really good. If you guys can see that consistency, it's just sort of clumping together. So that's spot on. In we go to the prepared tin. The smell of the roasted nuts and those spices, you just know it's gonna pair so well with the white chocolate. Like I feel like when you're working with white chocolate, you need to figure out a way to rein in that sweetness and the spice and the saltiness, and that savory note from the nuts just works absolutely perfectly. So we're just gonna press this out and go up the sides. So I've got our biscuit base set in there, nice and high up on the side, so it's gonna encapsulate that beautiful white chocolate cheesecake filling. So I'm just gonna bang this in the fridge for about half an hour, just to let the butter set up, and while it's in there, we can work on the cheesecake filling. All right, so the base is setting nicely in the fridge over here. Now we can get cracking on the white chocolate cheesecake filling. All right, so we've got our stand mixer here. We've got a couple of packets of cream cheese, because where would a cheesecake be without it? And we're gonna throw that into our stand mixer with the paddle attachment, and just start to whip that until it comes up really nice and smooth. All right, so 500 grams cream cheese into the stand mixer. You want this softened, not at room temp, but you want it sort of just starting to get there, so it whips up really nice and smooth. So we go in with the paddle attachment and just start that on low, and we'll start to whip it. Get a little bit of air into it, and then we can introduce the white chocolate that we've melted over here. So the cream cheese and the white chocolate has come together beautifully, but we just need to make it that little bit lighter, okay? So we're gonna go about a cup and a half of thickened cream, a couple of tablespoons of icing sugar, and a little bit of vanilla paste. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna whisk this up, and it's almost like when you're making a souffle, so you split your mix. So you've got your egg yolk mix, and then you introduce your egg whites and you fold it through. That's what we're gonna be doing with the whipped cream. And I just wanna get that to soft peaks. Okay, you don't want it too firm, nice and soft, really pillowy, and then we'll fold it through our white chocolate and cream cheese, and that is our cheesecake mix sorted. All right, so we've got that lovely pillowy, thickened cream there that is ready to go. Now all we need to do is introduce these two together. So we've got our white chocolate and cream cheese. Get all that off there. All right, so we're gonna go in just half at a time. We're gonna get a little bit of the cream in there and just use that first half to loosen everything up, okay? So that gives us the opportunity to make it really nice and smooth. So you can work this one through, and then with the second half, then we'll fold it through. So we get a nice, looser, creamier consistency in the first half, and then we'll fold through the rest of that aerated cream to give us that lovely light texture. So our little base has set up nicely. That butter has just started to come into play. So we're safe to go in with our white chocolate cheesecake mix, and it's looking beautiful and light and pillowy. In we go. So we get all of that in there, and then all we need to do, we'll set it back in the fridge. It's gonna take probably 6 to 8 hours, so I'd recommend overnight. That's when you're gonna get the best results. The sides on that base are just a little bit higher than the filling itself, but I've never heard anyone complain that there was too much biscuit base. So all we need to do, like I said, back into the fridge, let it set overnight, and then we'll take it out, dress it with a few more of the roasted nuts, and we are good to go. The white chocolate cheesecake with the Dukkah crumb has set up absolutely beautifully. Now I've just got a few of the leftover nuts here. That was the hazelnuts, the roasted almonds, and the pistachios. Just gonna give them a rough chop, just to decorate the top of the cheesecake. And it's just gonna give us another layer of textural difference over the top. I just had a bit of a brainwave as well, what I think would be insane. If you go to like a gourmet food supplier, if you can find freeze-dried raspberries, they would be next level over the top of this. So we'll just chop them up, leave it nice and rough. You don't want them to be like a perfect crumb. And then we'll just sprinkle those over the top then. Just bed them in a little bit. There we go. My white chocolate and Dukkah cheesecake. It's a very proud moment because I can absolutely say without a shadow of doubt that you heard it here first, and you have to give it a shot because now you can find it on Google.